Hello, this is Kari Fell. Welcome to my studio. Okay, my table's a mess. Well, this is kind of what my art table looks like most of the time anyway. A few months ago, I decided I was going to do Inktober. Got very excited about it. I have never done Inktober before, and since I had recently bought some pens and some markers and some ink, I decided that this is a good time to learn how to use all these materials to their best advantage. Time to learn something new, and Inktober seemed like the perfect challenge for me. Then the controversy hit. So, you know what? I'm not going to let that ruin it for me. I am doing this for me, and I'm going to follow the prompts and do it and let that work its way out in the courts. I decided to write down the Inktober prompts, one prompt per day. So we have 31 words, and I'm using those as my inspiration. I decided way back that my theme was going to be something that wasn't going to be too difficult or that have makeup out of my head. So I'm using Dudley. Ta-da! There's a lot of things he can't do. So he's stilted, but that's okay. I want to get used to trying to create action and motion with a simplified figure, and you can't get any simpler than Dudley. So we're going to follow Dudley every day as he tries to interpret each of the Inktober prompts. Today's day 1. Oh there, Dudley. Today's day 1, which is fish. Here I am trying out a few of the materials that I'm going to use for Inktober, and then when I came down to painting, I forgot to turn on the camera. So I did Dudley first with inks. I outlined him with my cool brush pen, and then to put him in a setting, I did some gouache for the background. Dudley has these funny scoops for hands, so he's kind of awkward when he holds a fishing rod. But there's day 1. I've decided not to do fancy big full spreads. I just want to get a drawing done each day. Here's where I decided I didn't like the coil-bound sketchbook, and I decided to move the whole project into a higher quality sketchbook. Why can't I remember to turn on the camera? Day 2 is wisp. So here's Dudley surrounded by a wisp of fog. Yay! I finally remembered to turn on the camera. I want this to be all about Dudley and having his body position portray the idea that the prompt is provided, so I'm deliberately not including props in my drawings. Day 3 is bulky, so Dudley has gained a few pounds for this one. I drew him out in pencil first, and then added layers of ink in progressively darker washes. Finally, I added a simple background in gouache. Day 4, Radio. I didn't want to make this about music, as that's another prompt on a later day. So I went the route of radiology and decided Dudley needed an x-ray of his radial bone. After trying out my new white ink pens, I just played with the ink, both the black and the white, back and forth until I got the look that I was going for. Day 5 was Blade, and it was my first 2-page spread, so I was happy that I switched from a coil-bound sketchbook. Dudley is participating in a medieval sword fight, with the prompt being suggested by his body's pose. I admit it. At this point, I fizzled out. It was difficult to stay motivated, and I didn't get past day 5. But Inktober was not in vain. It got me painting every day, which is a good thing, and once I got in the groove, I was able to start a large grid painting, which I've been unable to do for a few years. Grid paintings have been an important part of my art career, and I'm glad to be finally working on a new one. There's a link to my grid painting explanation video on the iCard here on the screen. Please consider becoming a patron to see the updates on this grid painting and to watch its progress. There's a link to my Patreon in the description and also here on the screen. Thank you for watching!